Within Load Call, jobs are the work orders requested by your customers and consist of a pickup location, a drop-off location, the commodity type that you will be transporting, and the purchaser or the person paying for that specific load. So jobs on a dispatch board are these kind of dark icons or dark squares over here on the right. They can be clicked and dragged and assigned to a driver and then show up as their list of work that they need to complete. In order to create a job, you can click on this green plus button right here, the Create Job highlight above it. And if you click on this, it's going to open up this window where we can go ahead and create a job. You can also create jobs in individual lanes over here by clicking on the green plus button as well, which will automatically create the job and stick it into the bucket over here that you've selected to create from. Within this Create Job window, you can see that there is a yellow input right here, which means it's required if it's yellow, where we have to start typing in the name of the route that we want to use. So if I type in a route name or part of the route, so if I type in, for example, Ironwood, you can see that the routes that use this Ironwood tank battery show up as options to select in here. If the route that you want to use hasn't been pre-created, you can go ahead and click on this blue Create New Route button and go ahead and fill it out. So in here, you need to select a purchaser. So we're going to go ahead and put in Bravo Company, select a region. I'm going to put this region as a gauged crude oil. The pickup location, I'm going to put in the Belle Glade here, which will pull up the coordinates. And the drop-off location, we'll do Irving Station Renmark. And you'll see right here that it'll populate a map. It'll give you the estimated time to do this specific route right here. It says it's 76.9 miles, about an hour and 13 minutes. And then you're going to go ahead and enter in the mileage that this route will be billed off of. So if this road were restricted and they had to go another way around, that might be something to take into consideration here, but I'm just going to say that this is a 77-mile route and go ahead and click Create Route. And if I do so, it's going to auto-populate this form as if we had selected the route from the previous screen, which we'll do next in the video to show that process. Now, most of the time when you come in to create a load, the route will have already been built into the system. So instead of having to click on that button, you can go ahead and come in here and type in the indicator. Usually it's the pickup location. You start typing and you can go ahead and select the route. And by clicking on it, we'll get back to the same window as if we had just created a route. But within this window, we can go ahead and configure the specific load and make sure that everything's right for the driver. So the first thing up here is you can increase the number of loads that you create. So if you get a work order that has, we need to have 7 of these loads picked up, you can go ahead and quickly, create multiple of this identical route at a time and assign them to the same or different drivers. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to go ahead and create 3 of these. And then down here, a lot of these are disabled based on the route. So we've already set that up on the route. And we can go ahead and select a pickup time zone if we wanted to. We don't need to though. And if you want to in here, like you can go ahead and put in purchase order numbers. So I'm going to put in 101, 102, and this would be an identifier given by the purchaser in order for them to kind of collate it in their system and match it up. And depending on the purchaser settings, it may or may not be required. For this Bravo Company is required, which is why it's yellow. And then if there are specific pickup times, you can go ahead and put those in as well. In this case, it's faded yellow. It's not really a required field, but you could fill it out if there were specific pickup times. We'll do it for one of these. We'll go ahead and say that we're going to pick it up on the 22nd of December, and we'll say that they want it at 8 a.m. The next section down here is the commodity's already been set, so we're coming to the pickup location and we need to select a dock. In this case, it looks like it's a tank battery thing, so we'll go ahead and say we're pulling from tank 1, and then we're dropping off for the specific account right here. The only other thing in here is you can put an alert in for the driver, so when they start the job, they can get an alert. So if you want to tell them it's a high priority load or some other information, like there may be a road closure, you can go ahead and throw that in here and they'll get a pop-up when they start the load. So at this point, all we have to do is click Create, and it will go ahead and we're going to create these 3 loads. In this case, we also have a warning in here that says we have used 103 as a purchase order number before. It may have a conflicting in their system. I'm going to go ahead and say it's fine to use that. And so we'll go ahead and click use. Looks like 102 was used also. And with that, you can see that we just created these 3 loads here, 17, 18, 19, from Belle Glade to Irvington Station. And they show up here on the side ready to be assigned.